All right. Let's see. Perfect. Okay. We've got some Meganobz today. I need to flip this other light on so we're not so shadowy. Sorry. Let's get that going there. There we are. So we're going to paint these handsome boys. I'm not necessarily worried about getting them perfect. We're just going to focus on getting them table ready. I got a buddy who's going to be borrowing them from me. So we need to make sure that they are table ready. And I had a cup of water. Um, so we're gonna just pause for 1 second and go get a cup of water. Awesome. So, like I said, we're gonna paint some Meganobz. Sorry about that. We got our coffee, we got our painting water, we got our drinking water, we got our Meganobz. So we're pretty pumped about this. We're not gonna do a lot of crazy detail. I mean, it's gonna depend really. We're gonna kind of get started here and see how we go. But the goal is battle ready, not parade ready today. Got a buddy who needs to borrow some for a tournament at the end of the month. And so we're going to make sure they are ready. Let's clean this brush off a little bit. It's a little dirty. All right. Grab my paper towel. Give you guys a little fatty grunt there. Ugh. All right. I am kind of exploring Evil Suns as an army. Typically, I am a Death Skulls player, as everybody knows, or everybody that knows me knows. Let me rephrase it. But one of my buddies is also a Death Skulls player, and that's fine. Like we can both play Death Skulls, and we will. But I think I decided I was going to start kind of painting things to be a little bit more Evil Suns ish, and that's simply I like the red. You know, um, before the fire, most of my armies were blue. Now after the fire, most of my armies are red. I don't know. It's it's stupid. I don't know why I did it this way. It wasn't intentional. It's just kind of how life has kind of worked for me, I guess. So, sorry about this light. It's real bright. Let me see if I can kind of. There. I don't know if that's any better. That's probably worse. We got a bright light here, and I think. No? I don't know. Looks terrible. Sorry, guys. It's just where we're at with life. You just get to see me all washed out. All right. Which I don't know how it looks from your view, but actually from mine, it doesn't look bad. But I feel like it's really, really bright. We need some light here, though. There we go. So we're going to base them in corn red. This is one of my favorite colors from Games Workshop, especially in their family of reds. Um, we're going to pop these little buzz saws off as I don't glue them because I want the ability to kind of come back later and work on things. You know, like I might want to change them. I might want to play a different loadout. Oh, there we go. Let's get underneath here so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. And I'm kind of a sloppy painter, as everybody's already seen if you've watched me paint on stream. I've never pretended to be a good painter. I'm not a terrible painter, but not great. I will say this about myself. I still think I'm average, maybe at best, but I have gotten a lot better over the last. I need more light. Hopefully this doesn't mess with you guys. That's super bright. I'm sorry if that makes it too harsh. We'll just shrink me anyway. Let's do that. We'll make me real tiny. Nobody wants to see me. I'm cute, but I'm not that cute. So, like I said, average painter at best. I tend to kind of like, especially my first base color, I tend to kind of be a little sloppy. I don't care. It's all going to get painted over anyway, you know, and then just kind of touch up with detail work later. And again, it may not be the most efficient way to paint. It's how I kind of have developed my painting techniques and styles. So we're going to get these boys battle ready. See, they're already based. They just need some color. But anyway, yeah, so corn red is, I think, my favorite red that they make, especially out of the base color family. Like if you look at their base paints, Mephiston red's a little bit too like traditional kind of lipstick red. For me, I like the corn red. It's a little deeper, has some nice dark tones to it. And I don't know what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like it's a darker red. It's got some depth to it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know anything about colors. I'm just telling you my experience. And I'll just throw that guy down. I didn't like him anyway. All right. And yeah, we're just going to really paint almost the whole dude red to start with. Because I'd rather. It's just, like I said, it's kind of how I do it. You know. Do, 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 do. All right. All right. Look at that. So, this is why I do it that way, because now, like, homie looks all right. You know, he's not perfect, but he looks all right. There's a good chance I'm just dry brushing if I do any highlights today. I am not. I did try some wet blending and some gradient work actually for the first time. I think it went well. I've got an incarn that I'm painting, and honestly, I'd have probably been working on that today if I didn't have to get these worked on for my buddy. Although the incarn is for my list for that same tournament. So there's a good chance I'm just not going to have painted models, which, whatever. My philosophy, and I usually have painted models, so like I'm not saying this from the perspective of I'm never going to paint my models. But as somebody who does play this game quite a bit, my philosophy has always been if I'm winning or losing by paint, I could have always just played better. You know. And it's funny. I went and I ran a tournament this last weekend. Really good turnout. We had 18 players. We almost had 20. Had a couple people drop last minute. One guy got COVID, and one guy, I don't know, he just no call no showed, which you get. You get like people who will sign up and then they'll just disappear and be like, never mind, I'm not going. They won't submit lists, stuff like that. It was hosted at Reliquary Gaming in Chesterton. Real cool store. The owners, Brandon and Christy, are really good people. Coffee break real quick. They've been super warm and inviting to me, given my situation, and love having the events in their store, so that's good. But yeah, no, my buddy Alex and Tyler ended up playing each other round 3. And a guy, the winner, Alex Capote, super nice kid. Good for him. I'm glad he won. And I'm not taking away anything from him, but he and Alex Holt both went undefeated because they didn't play each other in the final round. And really, the only reason Alex didn't end up in first place is because he and Tyler decided they were just going to be dumbasses and not even like play a real game. And again, I'm not taking away from Capote at all. He did good work. He did fine and he did fantastic and he didn't do anything wrong. He won his 3 games. But the final score for the game Alex Holt and Tyler played was like 42 to 39 or something like that. So it was one of those where, if he'd have actually played, he'd have gotten his 80 points or so, maybe 90, and could have probably just won first place. He didn't care. He was happy to be able to play. He was happy that he won all 3 of his games, and that's what's important, is that he was happy and he had fun. But no, he ended up beating Tyler, but he beat Tyler because of paint. Tyler has a bunch of new models that he's still building and painting, and so he ended up beating Tyler because he had a 100% painted army, and it's actually really funny because there's only been a couple times I've seen that actually happen. One was at an ATC tournament I went to in Indy. And then the other one was this one. Yeah, that's it. So it's funny. It's funny, funny, funny. So it's just our first quick get it on there, get it done coat. Like I said, I'm not a great painter. So there's that. But yeah, and we ended up making an actual, like, we finally officially decided we're gonna have an actual official Warhammer 40K team. I know I said official a lot there. That's how official it feels. It's officially official. So and we're gonna keep the team small. Keep it small. And that was always my goal, or my kind of directive with it. I don't mind having like official teams and doing events as teams and stuff like that, but I don't want like 20 people all going with like team jerseys and all this other stuff. Like, I like winning, I like competitive play, but at the end of the day, I just want to have fun. And it's just as much for me about just getting a good group of guys together and having fun as it is about playing and winning, you know? So, and really it's more about that for me. Like, if I go 3-2 at a tournament, but man, I had a great time and my friends were all there, I'm happy. And hell, I I did one tournament where I just got friggin' roasted. And that doesn't happen often. And honestly, the first game I just got outplayed. Um, and we're being serious. Like, dude just outplayed me. Uh, Good guy, real nice. And he played Eldar, and it was just some Eldar stuff that I hadn't seen before. And I'm not going to blame terrain because I could have played better, but the terrain was not good. It was very open, so there was not a lot of places for me to be able to hide from his shooting. It was before the update, the changes to the WOG, where we got an invuln for a couple turns. So it was like all his shuriken weapons were just shredding me. I couldn't do anything about it. He had a build that didn't necessarily require him to interact with me. Um, so again, like he just roasted me, and that's fine. Um, there was a lot going on there. It wasn't just that the terrain was open. It just that didn't do me any favors. But no, he definitely outplayed me. I kind of played like a dum-dum head. Outside of that, we did one tournament where, or no, the next round I played a guy, and that round was a lot better in terms of me playing. Um, I knew that guy's army arguably better than he did. He was playing Chaos Demons, and it was before the Codex drop, because that just happened, obviously. Um, so with him playing Chaos Demons, and like my buddy Matt plays Chaos Demons, I've had Chaos Demons in my recent history, so it's one of those where I knew that book as well, if not better than him, and I just, I manhandled that guy, and it was a good game. Super nice kid, for sure. And then the third game, I did end up losing. I went 1-2 that tournament. But honestly, and again, that was a super nice kid, and a real good game. But that kid, like, just didn't fail anything. And again, nothing wrong with it. Some games are like that. It was just one of those where, like, he turned one to jump and made a 9-inch charge, which, okay. And then he turned two to jump and made a 9-inch charge. And then he turned three to jump and made a 9-inch charge. He didn't fail a single charge the whole game. And I think only one or two of them, and it's been a while, but I want to say only one or two of his charges were under 10 inches or under 9 inches. So when dice are like that, like you can only do so much. Like it is what it is. Not I can't do anything about it. His list was good. He played it well. But arguably if he fails one or two of those charges, he might still win, but it's a very different game, you know. But him being able to dictate the battle because he didn't fail any charges really kept me from getting out of my deployment zone and being able to score points. So, all right. Yep, and this is, like I said, just a quick sloppy first coat. That's all we're doing right now. Extra sloppy Joes. Little Adam Sandler. Look at that arm hair. Y'all wish you had arm hair like me. All right, let's get a little bit more paint. And boop, boop, boop. All right, let's second verse, same as the first. We're just doing that second thin coat. I've got to get some t-shirts finished up today too. I was supposed to get the All My Homies Love Xenos t-shirt up in the Teespring store last week, and man, last week was an adventure. For those that don't know, my car had to go into the shop. It starter went out, and I could have changed it myself, but I don't have any tools anymore, and B, like, I don't have time for that anymore. So I ended up taking it in, and it wasn't too bad. The dudes, we took it to Bell Tire here in Valpo. I got a buddy there that works there, and the manager there, super nice guy. Never met him before until I got there, but he was really nice. Turns out he's also a veteran, so that was cool. Enjoy running into other veterans while I'm out and about. So, but yeah, his name's Justin, the manager, and then my buddy's name is Garrett. Super, super good dudes. Garrett was actually at the tournament. So I had to get that fixed, and then, they were like, "Hey, there's like a million things wrong with this, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I bought this for like $1,000 because of my plan at the time was to just kind of drive it till it fell apart, and just kind of scrap it and move on with my life because I just had to get out of my Buick. Like that Buick was too expensive. So I did, and then when it started falling apart, well, obviously we had a fire, so it's had to change the way I'm approaching a lot of things. And now I'm not just gonna scrap it. Like I have to actually maintain it and take care of it. So that's what we're doing now. I got some more parts we're gonna get put on it here this week or next, and then she'll be drivable. Everything will be good. I've got a few other like there's a whole laundry list of things that need fixed, but in order to keep it like actually safe and drivable, I just had to get a couple more things done to it. All right, so and that's why last week's stream schedule was so weird. Speaking of stream schedules, I don't know why, but my brain just went boss weapons. So that's a thing. Speaking of stream schedules, this Thursday, we've got a boss battle. That's why, because we've got a boss battle. It's orcs versus orcs on stream. We're going to start around 10 a.m. It'll be my buddy John, who's also a member of our team, and me. I believe he is going to be playing Goffs, because I want to say he's bringing the biggest boy himself. My plan is to run Evil Sons, and that's the Evil Sons is mostly because like there's some things in there I like, and we're gonna see if we can get them working. I've done well with it the few times I've gotten to play it. So, but I've been grinding. Well, I was grinding Sisters because I thought I was going to play them at this ATC tournament at the end of the month, and I may end up still. I don't know. It's more just like I like that codex a lot, but there's not a lot of depth to it. So I prefer my codexes with a lot of depth. It's one of the things I do like about orcs, even if it's not a good codex. It's a deep codex with a lot of tools. So, um, and I've got some Eldar, and I'm actually leaning towards them. I think I'm going to go Yanari. So I've been trying to get some practice games in with them also, but that I haven't been able to do that as much. It's been a wild couple weeks. So we'll see how this goes. All right, that handsome boy's got his second coat. Let's get a little bit more paint. We don't need that much this time. Boop, boop, boop. My nasty ass homemade wet palette. Thing's stupid. I need to break down and either make a good one or just buy one. Although this was my first attempt at it, again, when I decided I was going to do wet blending and gradients for my Incarn, I was like, well, this makes sense that I should probably use some kind of wet palette. And so I made one out of Tupperware and sponges, and it works fine. It's just ugly, and like the sponges aren't the right size. I had to cut them down so they don't fit quite right. I was more worried about getting going painting than I was about the wet palette, is really what it boils down to. So it was kind of a rush job, but it works. So I can't complain too much. All right. Gonna just Bam. You know, we might go ahead and slap some highlights on here because we're making some decent time. You know, because like I said, I'm not going to, we're not picking out every detail today. We'll worry about that after the tournament when I go to fix them. And I have and again, it might be a weird one, but I do have a process when I paint. And it's because I do tend to be sloppy. So, there we go. Your boy. Oh no. I forgot I had these. Well, we'll come back to them. I'm not worried about it. I can crank those out later. Let's clean this brush off real quick. All right, and get my little soap. Oh no, my light. Let's see. All right. We got that. All right. Do we? Yeah, we do. We just go ahead. We commit. So we're going to hit him with some Evil Sun Scarlet. And we're just dry brushing. That's I bet it works now. We're just dry brushing. It's quick, it's easy. I do it for most things. It works. It's just kind of how I do. Let me make sure my audio is working again. Yep, perfect. All right, we're just going to slap that right down there because we're just dry brushing. Not interested in making sure we're neat. And actually, we're going to do kind of a heavy dry brush with this, so I don't need to wipe off as much. And we're going to hit him with Evil Sun Scarlet. And really, it's almost the way I do this, it's almost like we're just covering the whole, all the red. It won't coat it all, but it's kind of like my approach with this red. And again, do enjoy this red a lot also. Like, this family of reds that I've got for these models. See if you can see it in the camera. You might not be able to tell, but I am highlighting it. It is doing what it's supposed to. There we go. There we go. Yeah, seeing that's it. We're just trying to get him looking good in a quick amount of time, and he does. Is he perfect? No. Is he winning awards? No. But am I gonna feel happy when I put him on the table? Yup. He gonna look nice on the table. we go. Yeah. And then the next dry brush we'll do is going to be a little bit gentler and not quite so heavy. Excuse me. Oh man. Speaking of, I guess we're not even speaking of anything. I'm on like a pretty big losing streak at 40k too. And that's the poopy duty. To be fair, the last game I played was my first game playing with Eldar. I mean, I played like a screw-off game at the tournament after Alex and Tyler got done. And I mean, sure, I beat Alex, but again, it wasn't like we were actively like, ooh, this is how we should do this. Like, we were just like slamming models and rolling dice kind of approach. Looks good. You know, so I think I'm on like a 3-game losing streak, which is weird. I don't like that. We need to make sure we fix that this week. So I gotta play John. That's gonna be a good game because he knows orcs pretty well. I know orcs pretty well. So it's not gonna be like the last time he and I played Eldar, and I just don't know them well enough to beat him yet. Like he's a pretty skilled player for sure. So I don't know my army with the Eldar well enough to beat him. Especially when he's using orcs, because again, like that's the army he and I both just have the most working knowledge of. So I'm not expecting to beat him when I go into him with an army I just have only played once now. Like that was my first game. So when he beat me, I was not surprised. I wasn't upset by that at all. Like we got done and I was like, that is exactly what I expected, but that's what I needed. You know, I needed to lose, and I needed to lose big, and I needed to understand. All right, so we're gonna do one more with some Wild Rider Red. That's what I needed though. Like, that's kind of how I learn. I need to get rolled sometimes, and it's actually really good for you to get your face pushed in every once in a while. All right, we're gonna dry this one off a little bit more than the red though. There we go. There we go. Okay. We'll test. There we go. And we're just going to kind of only downward on this one. Just hit a few angles. Yeah, see, and once I got this, we'll see if we can get that one to show up on the camera. It's such a nice, lovely highlight. Let's see. Can we see it? I don't know if you can or not, but it's there. So, all right, the next one. I had to smash build some Howling Banshees. That's why I have Howling Banshees instructions on my little hobby table here. It was, again, I mean, it was specifically so I could get them on the table. Um, I actually still have to put arms on some of them. Those things are cool. I enjoy them. But I've got to learn, I've got to learn. You get good with Eldar, you can be good with anything, And that's how a lot of the Xenos armies are, though, is like once you understand how they work, like you typically just have a really good understanding of the game. Um, Especially once they're all like rebalanced and they've nerfed them and FAQ'd them and decided that they don't need to sell any more models. You know, like, and even like NIDS, like that one build was really gross, but the rest of the codex isn't gross. It seems pretty well balanced. But if you can play not tournament meta NIDS and win games, you're fine. Perfect. All right, let's clean this off. And then I think we'll just smash some skin on next. Seems like the next logical step. Maybe it's not. Somebody who's better at painting is probably like, oh my gosh, this guy is crazy. Why does he do things in the order he does them? That's all right. That's why I'm painting them and you're not, dude. Or not, dude. I don't know. All right. That's nice and clean. Another sip of coffee. All right, all right, all right. Now I just bought some green. It's not the green I wanted, but it's the green I got. So it's an intermediate green. I've never used it. It's Vallejo. I do like a lot of their paints that I've bought. I do have my normal green. It's the Militarum green. That's usually what I use for orc flesh. The downside to that is that I didn't dry brush the model. Usually when I do this, I dry brush the whole model in white or like Xandri dust so that I can paint their skin with a contrast paint is really what it is. You know, it's not like some weird sick tip like Zenith will highlight your models for this. Like I literally only do it so I can use contrast paint. That's it. This is a nice color though. I need it. Gonna need it a little bit darker, but I may just use the Militarum green as a wash. But it is a nice color. I like it. Also, I got a buddy, Meganobz. I don't know if any of you know him. He's got a Twitch. You should check him out. This is all he does is like 3D printing and hobby stuff. It's super cool. He's done some terrain, a lot of painting. Super nice dude. His name's Jamie. Giving him a free shout out. Um, check him out if you get the chance. There we go. Paint that little here. Yeah, I can get down with that. Like I said, we'll just darken it up somehow, some way. I feel like my paint isn't thin enough though, which I don't enjoy. There we go. So I really like, and I'm sorry if I'm breathing heavy, I just realized that I might be. Oh no, it's Cash Money Tyler. What up, dude? I really like these models. I don't like painting them because of this stuff right here, where you're just like, hey, we're gonna we're gonna have little bits of flesh sticking out of his armor here and there. Seems reasonable. Uh-oh. Nope, there we go. Thought the stream went down for a minute. Cool, cool, cool. Get these boys painted. Like I said, the goal here is just so my buddy John can not lose paint points. Nice, man. Nice. I've got so much to get built and painted. I'm probably not going to be painted for the tournament no matter what army I play. Like, even if I did Sisters, I probably still would have so much to paint. So, but I got to get more practice games in with those Eldar, man. I have gotten rolled every game. Yup. I mean, I didn't get rolled that 1,000 point game I played with Alex, but again, like, that was a lot of just rolling dice and being silly. Like we didn't keep score or anything, but it did, again, it did let me see some things like, yeah, that sounds good. And I know Kyle's coming in. He's got a Votan list I want to play against also, and I'm playing John on Thursday, but that's Orcs versus Orcs. There we go. I like that green. I think I'm gonna try doing a wash over it with that contrast though, the Militarum green, just to kind of darken it up. But yeah, John's Orcs versus Orcs on stream, so and he needs these for the tournament, and he's got a painted army, so it's one of those where him having this is more important than me making sure my shit's painted, because there's a good chance my shit's just not getting painted all the way anyway. And then Alex said he's got some more free time, so we can maybe do do a game after the stream game on Thursdays type of thing. Oh no, yep, I guess we're touching that up later. Silly goose. I gotta make some notes about what I need for stream also. I think what I'm gonna need to do is make sure we're taking screenshots of the score. Oh, okay. After the game, because I've had a couple people say, "Hey, man, could you provide us with some sort of breakdown of your secondaries?" Yeah, I can do that. And it's weird. Nice. I didn't realize how much people would want to watch me play 40K. So it's actually kind of neat to have these people going, "Hey man, like this is awesome. You guys are doing great work. Can you give us this information? Can you give us this information?" Yeah, I'll give you whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not hiding anything from anybody. Are you going to be going back to NIDS here soon, Tyler? Is that why you've been digging into that codex? Tired of getting made fun of for having the only Imperium army on the team? That's not true. Kyle's got one. He and I have been talking about that Votan book, and it's going to have some silly interactions. We'll see how this goes. It's going to get hit with a nerf. I just don't know when. Oh, jeez. That's sloppy. Why would I do that? Got paint on his ass. You're itched. Wipe that off. Gotcha. That makes sense, too. Those Redemptors, that's what did you, right? That's the last pieces to your puzzle. Have you played against the Incarn yet, Tyler? I don't know if you've ever played Austin when he's played Yanari, so, or Rich. Right on. Because I think I'm pretty much the only person that's been super high on Yanari. Everybody else is just like, yeah, they're okay. But I'm like, dude, these things are so good if you can take the time in. Oh, Jesus. Did you charge him? Or did you shoot it off the table? And was it Rich or Austin? That sounds like an Austin move. Oh no. Was it a big brick like a 10, 9-man? Oh gosh, gotcha. Yeah. I mean, at best, the Incarn's killing 6 of them, and that's with a 100% hit and wound rate. So, probably not the best target for the Incarn. I'd happily send it into your Hive Tyrant. But a nine body brick of warriors, you need to soften that up with some shooting first. And maybe some smites or something. Like, if it, honestly, legitimately, if it was 7, I would have been comfortable with it, knowing that I'm probably killing 3 or 4. Because, like, 3 warriors fighting back, it's a lot of dice, but they're only doing 1 damage to the Incarn. So it's one of those where I'd have to literally fail every save. And you'd have to have a really good hit and wound rate. Yeah. I'm about that. I like that green. Let's give me 1 second. I'm gonna mute for just a minute. I've got a little parrot watching over my shoulder. All right, cool. Yeah, and that makes sense too. And you know, that would also change the way I approach those warriors. They'd probably just honestly eat bright lances until I felt like they weren't a threat. You know, because I can send the Incarn anywhere I want to if I can position well. But I've got a game with John on Thursday. I'm going to see if I can get one in tomorrow. Bo asked me if I could play today, but I can't because I'm doing stream and I got to help Eli, and he's on his oral chemo this week, so I got to make sure I'm available for him. I can't just like leave him somewhere. So making pretty good progress on these dudes. I'm actually pretty happy with this. Um, that's again kind of how I paint. Yeah, I will say, like, the 2 times I've gotten to play that army so far, when I've put the Incarn on the table, even like when John just, oh no, I just spilled on stream. Ha ha ha, that's cool. Oh well, this is where we're at with life. Um, don't even care that I spilled it. I just don't want it on my pants. All right, well, good news is I don't need the pot of paint anymore. I can just paint from my swimming pool here. It's Militarum green, and it is all over my fingies now, which I'm not super worried about. Because the only thing I use this for is orc skin. It's not the end of the world, and I had the papers down, so it's just an expensive mistake is all. Not an important one. Just a costly one. No. There's still some in the pot. And even if there wasn't, it's not the end of the world. Like I said, I only use this for orc skin. It's not like I have a whole guard army that I need to paint or anything. you know, so like if I was gonna spill anything, like that is the paint that I don't care that I spilled, and I did it in a way that it's like not even that big of a deal. So I've got like all these Howling Banshees are built except for arms, so I don't even need these instructions. Plus I have another set of instructions. The terrain underneath maybe, but I think I can probably get those all online, and if not, I should have the terrain from Games Workshop this week, so I should just have another set of instructions for that. That's that Sisters terrain that you built. Okay, that's a mess. There we go. Well, that's the poopy duty. There we go. What up, Garrett? You're just in time to see a big fat mess on my table, man. We got a whole lot of Militarum green all over my table here. I just spilled it. I got Garrett and Tyler today. That's cool. All right. Okay. Well, yeah, it does, man. It does. It's not the end of the world. Like I was just telling Tyler, of all the things I could have spilled, this is it. Like I'm glad it was this and not something else. Because the only thing this color ever gets used for me is orc skin. So, and I don't have a lot of orcs I need to paint right now. So that's awesome. Oh shit. The paint fell before the regiment did. I think that's how that goes, right? Alright, well, I'm done with this color. So I think we're just gonna close the book on this paint. Get it? Bad joke. There we go. Hey, look, and now it's fixed. All fixed. Alright, what's next? I guess we could do the brown. Black Legion is awesome, dude. And I don't mean just from a like good rules standpoint. Like they're actually just a cool legion anyway, but their rules are really good, and not from a again not from like even just a power gaming. Like it's just a very flexible kind of like ultramarine style army that can do a little bit of everything. And Abaddon is absolutely bonkers. Like that model is nuts. I was just kind of like getting into my groove with some chaos right before the fire, man. Like that shit was wild. Putting Abaddon on the table. All my red butchers. Big sad. That's such a fun army too. Yeah, and that's kind of what they are, is like a chaosy ultramarine kind of interaction. Just a little less dumb, for lack of a better word. And like I said, like Abaddon's super cool. And he is absolutely worth his 300 points. But the nice thing is that, like, as a player, if you play against him, he's not so oppressive that you don't get to play the game, you know? Because at the end of the day, he's still just a Terminator, and you can just kind of walk away from him. Yeah, there we go. And that honestly, like, that has worked every time I've done it. I've played against Black Legions quite a few times. My buddy John's got them, and he's a good player, you know. But I've been able to just see Abaddon and just be like, okay, this is where he is. I'm just gonna not be in this location. He can have that side of the board for now. Like, I honestly don't think I've ever put damage on him, and I've just kind of fed him units here and there to try and slow him down. He's an awesome model to build and paint also. Um, that was a model I had put a lot of time and effort into when I had it, and I enjoyed it. Like, is just a super cool model. And I know he's used for the base of a lot of kit bashes too, like people doing like regular Primarch or Space Marine style Demon Princes as opposed to like the actual demon ones. Like, I know he gets used for a lot of like Demon Prince kit bashes and stuff, which is cool. It's cool. All right, I think that is dry, so I can probably put that back on the shelf now. All right. Whoop. We're probably going to wrap up in about 15-20 minutes here. Big sloppy mess. Yeah, and I know, like, it's super easy to cut off and kind of kit bash around it, and I think his head's small enough you can put different heads on him, but I don't remember how his head connects, I'll be honest. I just, like I said, I know people do a lot of kit bashing with him. Him and Gilliman, like, those two models get used for a lot of stuff besides him and Gilliman, you know? Right? Just, gosh, you'd have to find. You might even have to just 3D print or like sculpt it, but that would actually be pretty cool, is to like give him like a big shaggy wild mane of hair instead of the top knot. That would look super dope. mean, at least they didn't do something silly like give him some sort of weird ass mustache or something, you know? Because like some of that stuff is still pretty 80s looking. Like you look at some of those Catachan models with their flat tops and shit, and like that's super 80s. And I mean, I get it. It's also very just army military kind of. But bro, I remember when flat tops were actually in style. We got any skulls on this dude? I don't know. Like I don't get it. I also remember when mullets were in style, and I don't know why people think those need to come back in any capacity. Why would you do this? So, interestingly, though, at least those make sense. Yes, they're ugly, but that was kind of like an actual haircut that like monks and stuff had. So at least I can, while yeah, it does look stupid, I at least understand the aesthetic choice for it. But like, dude, imagine having a model with a mullet sculpted onto it, Tyler. Why the hell would you do this? Okay. What do we got? About 10, 15 minutes, I said. So maybe we'll do some metals. Metals seem like a good thing to do for now. If I can find my metal. You have a mullet? Is that what you're telling me, Tyler? Oh, yeah, that's fair, man. That's a reasonable statement. Like, hey, you know, if you're gonna send me a model with a mullet, I'm just gonna find a different head for this model. Um, there we go. Let's get some of this. Do 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 do. Gotcha. All right. So I think space wolves have some of the dumbest looking heads too. Like some of their stuff is just so stupid looking. And I know a lot of those that are probably like just older models also. And like, what is it? Dark Angels? Like their wings, I don't understand. Those big giant wings they put on those bikes. Right? It's weird because I like their like that kind of like shrouded hooded aesthetic that some of their infantry have, but I don't enjoy the like weird. We're just gonna put these massive wings on things. Like, yeah, all right, guys, is what it is. Wish Bailey was here so I could dog on him for it. We need a bigger brush, or we're gonna be here all day. Um, and I think, and I could be wrong, but my understanding is that originally Dark Angels were kind of modeled after Native Americans to some degree, and then they just kind of slowly shifted towards like the Arthurian Knights. And I don't know if that's true. That's just like kind of my understanding. All right, are there any real big areas we need to do with this? I don't think so. But that would kind of make sense because of the wings. And that might be what it is too. I don't know. Like I said, my understanding is that's one of the legions that's just kind of all over the place with their inspirations. Because right now, like the Deathwing and stuff, like that's all King Arthur. Like the Green Knight, the Black Knight, like that's what all that is. But my understanding is that's all like kind of a new thing in terms of like wasn't the original kind of intent behind them. So who knows? I bet nobody at Games Workshop knows. Hell yeah. Get all these big areas first and then come in with the little brush and hit the little areas. Seems like it makes more sense to do it that way. There we go. Look at you. Looking like a handsome young lad. Okay. Do. Yeah, yeah. That primer was ugly. Yep. There we go. Just hit the back of this. Get that shitty primer off there. And then go through with the little brush. There we go. Your mom's a winged hussar, Tyler. And yeah, if either of you guys that are on here are gonna do the tournament on the 22nd of October, I would recommend registering sooner than later. I expect that with that one being a 2K, it will fill up a little bit quicker, and you're gonna get some of the normal guys like the Darrens and the Jimmies and stuff. I think you'll see some of that crowd now that it's an actual 2K event. So I could be wrong. Maybe I won't. But I kind of expect that I will. Like Bo's already, right? I say Bo's already registered. So I've got so much terrain I've got to try to get to, but I'm hopeful that so like GW, I should be getting that big terrain shipment from them to start building soon. And I'm hopeful that there's like extra in it and I get to kind of keep some of it. I don't know. I have no clue. It'd just be really neat if I did. Even if I don't quote unquote get to keep it, just having it there and the ability to just be like, I'm using this and they can't really stop me. Yeah, no, I'm good, Tyler. I think we've got 6 tables by myself without the stores terrain. I've just got to reach out to Homeboy and get those pieces. What, one piece? We were shorted one piece on that one order, I think it was. And I got to go through and make sure I actually ordered it, because I might not have. It is not the end of the world either way. You know, I'll just reach out to him and let him know. Yeah. So these guys are looking all right. I thought we had the. I thought we were just missing that one kind of like eye shape. I thought we had everything else. Were we also missing one of the corners? Because I thought we found the missing corner. Again, it's not the end of the world. I'll check it out and I'll reach out to him and let him know. And I've got it all here. So I can inventory it. Because I got to get a table set up anyway. Also, Garrett, if you're still in here, buddy, let me know when you can get on stream. That's going to be awesome. We do it on Thursdays. I've got this Thursday's booked, but after that, I think we're open, although Austin's going to reach out to me and let me know when he's available also. So, cool. Okay. Yeah, that'll be all right. Get his base kind of trimmed up and cleaned up, and he should be table ready. And that was the goal. Get these guys table ready so John's not losing points because of me. Oh. All right. Oh, I just didn't do him. All right. Yeah, I think I'm going to be setting up the stream table either today or tomorrow, and then double checking all the audio equipment again so that hopefully we don't have the same issue we had last time. That was big sad that the audio went down. We were able to fix it, so it was cool. And even afterwards, people could still hear. It just, the quality wasn't the best. So that was also good to know. And man, people have been real awesome. Super happy with the way people have been giving good positive feedback. We're going to wrap up as soon as I'm done with this duder right here. All right, touch that. Well, there we go. All right, so I just got to hit the little fisties and we'll worry about that later. clean up my mess today. A big sloppy paint mess. That's pretty cool. Fortunately, literally nothing got paint on it except for actual trash. So, all right. Put you in my cup. Put you over here. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. I know Tyler. What are you doing tomorrow, Tyler? Painting or building? Yeah, you'll post it. So, cool.